Alright guys, welcome back to the pod, back to the podcast, back to Game and Compute. We're talking about e-commerce, we're talking about digital marketing. How are you going to make that money? Where's that Wi-Fi bread coming from? How are you going to get paid? That's what everybody wants to know. I want to know how I can make my own business and be home and get paid and do it by myself, or learn how to do it by myself. I talked about it before. You can find past episodes. Stay away from all the clickbaity stuff. Stay away from all the how to make $18,000 in 1 hour. Really? You know how to make $18,000 in an hour? Like maybe you made $18,000 in 6 months, and then you divided out all the time of what it did, and then you found out within 1 hour you can create a piece of content that over 6 months makes you $18,000. But you're not going to say that in the title, right? If you're a clickbait artist, that's kind of what you do. You just kind of, usually they kind of finesse these topics, and it's like there's some level of accuracy to it, but it's not fully accurate. It's like, like for example, I made a topic the other day about how to do, or maybe the other month, about doing mystery shopping, right? And so when I calculate how much money I've made by doing, let's say if I did 8 mystery shops and they cost $10 each, they paid $10 each, and I made $80, and it took me, a week, I would say something like how to make, how do you divide that and how much time did I spend every day doing it? Maybe if I only spent 30 minutes doing it, I would say make $80 in 1 week from 30 minutes of daily work. But am I really only working 30 minutes a day, or how long did it really take? You know what I mean? So things like that, you want to be careful. Be very careful of all the clickbait artists out there, because they want views too, and that's how they get them. That's how they get engagement, is they know what to say to get people to click. But then when you're watching the video or listening to the episode, you're like, wait, this person spent more than 30 minutes doing this, or wait, this person didn't just make this money, $18,000 in 1 day. I spent 1 day doing what they said, and I didn't make anywhere near $18,000. I didn't make any money. Most of the time with e-commerce and with digital marketing, it's going to take you a while to build up. You take a while to build up. So how do you build up? That's what we all want to know, right? Once you found your niche and you kind of know what you're doing, how do you build up? First of all, you keep on, and you keep sharp. You keep looking at your ratings, at your analytics. You want to know what they say. You want to know, oh, if I post that and now all of a sudden engagement is down, that might not be the right topic for the right time. It might have just been the title. It might have just been the length of the content. It might have been the platform you were creating it on, that maybe it's better on a different platform. If I'm trying to make a review about something, or like for example, if I'm trying to make a tutorial rather, not a review, like you can make a review that's audio content, video content, blog content, that is okay. But if you try to make a tutorial, it's kind of hard to make a detailed techie tutorial if you're not visually showing people what to do. If I'm trying to explain to you how I fix my laptop, it makes more sense to make a video of it, or at least a slideshow of pictures with explanations, than for me to just talk you through all the pieces that I took apart on my laptop and what I did and what I unscrewed here and there. I can talk about it maybe intelligently, but I don't think anybody's going to come to a podcast for computer repairs. It's kind of weird. I think when it's general, you can do that, but some things just go to certain places in a certain way. But talking about these analytics, because I find that to be one of the more important things that people don't know. Like once you've kind of used the data to figure out what you're posting about and where you're posting it at, once you've kind of used the data from already having content posted, not just from randomly like thinking that, oh, this is what's going to work. And so I'm just going to create a whole bunch of content about this and spend a bunch of money to make a whole like username and a whole brand around this one topic that like you don't even know if that name is going to catch. You don't know if people really know what that brand is. Um, or if they're gonna catch on to it. Um, if my brand, if I branded something and I was talking about student loans, that's my niche. If I was talking about student loans as my niche, and I branded something as garbage compactor airplanes, just because that's what's on my mind, because I'm recording in a noisy area where there's airplanes flying over and a garbage compactor next to me. If that's what I label it as, nobody's going to know that I'm talking about student loans unless they've been clicking on it or somebody's been recommending that content to them. It's not obvious. It's not obvious that like, oh, we're talking about student loans. Like people aren't going to think that. They're going to be like, what the heck are you recording about? Nobody knows. Um so you got to think about that, it's like you want something that's not going to be so misleading or so competitive. You want something that kind of accurately demonstrates what you're doing, what you're going to be posting about. Um, I would say one pro tip when it comes to, the data, because it's all about the data. When it comes to the data, what you need to do is really know how to use powerful tools. Like Uber Suggest has very powerful tools on their website where you can get a visualization of keywords, learn how to do keyword search for SEO, learn how to rank. That's what you need to do. You need to learn how to rank. Um, you need to learn how to have organic content that ranks. It's fine to have paid traffic, but organic traffic kind of gives you a window into, if I'm paying to get this content promoted and traffic to this content, and it's already getting like organic, natural engagement just by me posting it and doing nothing more. Um, you know, it's good to know. It's good to know what to do for SEO. It's good to know what to do for descriptions. Um, what to write. What do you write in your descriptions? Most platforms have a type of description box. You're using hashtags. You're using keywords. You're using, basically, you're telling the algorithm what type of organic traffic to drive towards you. Um, some platforms you can't really advertise on cold. TikTok, Instagram, if you don't have like a following or any kind of content on there and you just open an account and then today start posting ads all over the place, it's not going to do as well as if you wait like 7 days or so, 5 days or so, and engage and start like following people and engaging with other content. And then you're like, oh, let me post something. That will go over a lot better for you. So focusing on, these general things, you really want to focus on what is actually happening. Um, you want to know those details, but um, just getting good at reading the analytics. I'm gonna go through some topics, not in this episode because I won't have enough time, but I'm gonna go through some of Fiverr just to give a taste of how to make money online. When it comes to digital marketing, when it comes to e-commerce. A lot of times with e-commerce, people just think, I want a Shopify store and I want to drop ship, you know. But start thinking outside the box. I'm not saying drop shipping is dead, but drop shipping isn't as easy to make work as a lot of people think it is, especially when most people out there have no money right now. They're not just trying to buy products that aren't really on Amazon. So what do you have to offer that Amazon doesn't have to offer? And is it cheaper, and is it getting there faster, and is it good quality? If you can't compete with Amazon, I mean, you probably have a brand and a following that is more entertaining than Amazon, because Amazon is straight shopping. So you might be able to still brand and sell products for sure. Like, it's not dead, like you can do it. But think about other aspects of e-commerce, such as consulting. What do you know? I talked about before how I had a friend that was really good with a blog that he just randomly started writing about his experiences before and up to and during and after the NCLEX and applying to get into a nursing program. He just organically was able to start that and get a lot of traffic without paid traffic, nothing. Just because it was such a popular topic at that time, his blog started getting so much attention. Now what he could have done is offer services. He could have said, "Hey, for 25 bucks, you can hire me for 30 minutes. We can talk on the phone." Back then, I don't think people were using Zoom that much, but 30 minutes we can talk on the phone, and that's a service. I'm providing a service. Now that's a form of e-commerce. I now have a store or a link to an option for people to purchase a service. I'm not saying I do, but if I were using him as an example, I now have a store where you can buy my time and ask me questions, and I'll try to guide you as like a coach. You could call it nursing school coaching and consult, because that's what you know, because you clearly have a blog and people are coming on there that people think that they know what you're saying and they trust you, and what you're saying seems to have worked for you. So if you know something that you did that works for you and it's a niche that people are interested in, you can consult. I'm not saying scam people, I'm saying like legit consult. Like, teach people, be a teacher, be a coach, be a trainer, consult. That's a form of e-commerce. You're selling your service. You might not be selling something made in China that you're trying to like drop ship, but you're selling your service. That's very valuable. Another example, before I end this episode, another example would be if my friend in their, sorry guys, my mic disconnected somehow. I think my receiver disconnected. Sorry about that. Um, so I wanted to give a second example. So if my friend with the nursing blog talking about the before, during, and after experience with the NCLEX, if he didn't want to do consulting, maybe he can make a digital product. Put online something for free, like a calendar, for example. That would be beneficial. A calendar that shows, okay, this is how he did it. This is the method he took. This is his method that he took, that he made. And he puts a calendar out there that people can download for free, and it has like notes and spaces for people to write their own notes, and maybe some spaces for people to just try to do what he did. Like, if he had a study schedule that was every other day for 30 days, and then every 30 days taking a practice exam, I don't know, I'm making this up, but he did that. Maybe he did that for a year. So over 12 months, he has 12 practice tests. So maybe he would make a calendar that's a 1 month study schedule for every 30 days, what you're studying before you take this practice test, like some kind of syllabus or something. You could maybe get that. That sounds like a lot, for free. Maybe he'll give you the first month for free, but then you can buy the other 11 months. And maybe it's not guaranteed, but people who really want to succeed in a certain field or area where other people have found success, this is what they do. They buy what has proven results behind it. If this guy is like, I did really good, and I used this tutor, and I used this um, study program, and I used this manual, and I used this study guide, and I used this, back then, like, a lot of those study guide textbooks had like CD-ROMs with them, or I use this software to kind of like do my monthly practice exams. I hired this person from University Tutor Online to kind of tutor me and promote that person as a tutor that helped you or whatever. Um, People would like that content, right? You're giving them something for free that's already valuable. They already like your blog, and then you're offering them a digital product that they could buy. They don't have to go out of their way. It's unique because there aren't that many calendars out there like Pearson, Kaplan. They're not making like a specific calendar like that that's like tailored by somebody who actually did it as a student. Your information is valuable though. People want to pass this exam. People want to get their RN. People want to start working and make good money as a nurse. Um, and if you have proven results, that's one way to do it. But I'm not saying you have to be in nursing. What my point is, I'm trying to get across is, e-commerce isn't all about drop shipping. Um, Sometimes you can use your expertise and digital marketing within your expertise to actually act as a coach or a tutor or a trainer. Those are very, or someone to consult with. Those are very, that's instead of selling goods, you can sell services. A lot of us learned that in econ class, right? Like goods and services. Like a lot of times with e-commerce and digital marketing, people don't talk about services. They talk about goods, and they're like, oh, like buy this like curling iron on AliExpress, and then like buy it for $1.99, wait for 2 to 4 weeks for it to ship for you to you, and buy 10 of them and drive traffic through Facebook Marketplace and buy it for $2.99, sell it for $35. You make all this profit. Yeah, that can work too. That can work too. But the issue is the bit of risk in there. You're spending 2 weeks, you're spending 4 weeks, you're spending money on Shopify. After 3 months, you're spending at least $39 a month. I think it's free for the first three. Well, it's not free. It's like $1 a month for the first 3 months. I've seen deals like that where you can get like a discount code like that, but you still have to have a Shopify site. A lot of people charge like $200 or 250, $300 to get you an actual Shopify store. But what are you selling? What are you selling? What are you selling? I'm not trying to be a jerk. I'm just saying, like, what are you selling? Is it something you're passionate about? If you have a Shopify store, can you create a blog, a YouTube channel, Instagram, a TikTok about whatever you're selling? Do you really like curling irons and beauty products or whatever you're selling to a point that you want to like do more to promote it? Like if it's your profession that you're promoting, it's like you're doing this every day. You're learning about it all the time. I'm not saying drop shipping is dead. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying we need to have a different conversation about e-commerce and digital marketing. I think it's important because a lot of us these days are coming out of jobs that we maybe didn't like for a certain reason, or they weren't paying well enough. That's a very common one. We all need more money with inflation as it is. We need more money. But a lot of us had other jobs that were good jobs. And for other people, they might want those jobs. You might have been doing that job for 5 years, 10 years. You can tell people how to do that. You can tutor people. You can teach people how to do an old job that you used to do. Even if you're in a different field right now, you can teach. If you did it for that long, you're a professional in your own field. Unless you were getting fired all the time or never learned how to do it and just were just like under the radar, just like getting paid and not knowing how to ever do your job, which I think that is not a very common thing. I don't think that's very likely. So I'm going to assume that most of us who've been in the work field or studying or have deep hobbies we've been involved with are professionals more so than some people. And if you have a niche that you're a professional in, you can use digital marketing and e-commerce to become successful. We're going to keep talking about this because there are methods. I mean, we're going to get more and more specific, but I want to set the groundwork for where this conversation is going. Now, I'm not going to never talk about drop shipping, but there's plenty of information out there about drop shipping if you guys want to have that information. It's out there. But I want to talk about platforms like Upwork, Fiverr. We're going to talk more about that. But all right, with that, thanks for listening.